Building a strong bond with grandchildren is one of the most rewarding aspects of growing older. It offers an opportunity to pass down wisdom, share love, and create lasting memories that span generations. While the dynamics between grandparents and grandchildren have evolved with time, the essence of this relationship remains rooted in love, respect, and shared experiences. To build a deep connection, grandparents must be present emotionally, physically, and mentally in their grandchildren's lives. Modern technology can act as a bridge between generations. Grandparents who learn to use smartphones, social media, and video calling apps can stay in touch more easily with grandchildren who live far away or are busy with school and activities. A simple video call to say hello or watch them open a birthday gift creates a moment that matters. Digital literacy in grandparents not only fosters communication, but also shows their willingness to adapt and stay connected in a rapidly changing world. Physical presence, whenever possible, is equally important. Nothing replaces the warmth of a hug, the laughter shared over board games, or the joy of baking cookies together. Spending time doing activities the grandchildren enjoy, such as going to the park, watching their favorite shows, or working on school projects, can significantly strengthen bonds. It is essential to show interest in their world, even if it feels unfamiliar. Grandparents can become mentors by sharing stories of their youth, their experiences, the challenges they overcame, and the lessons they learned. These narratives not only instill values, but also help grandchildren see their grandparents as real people who lived through both hardships and joys. Telling stories over meals or bedtime or writing letters filled with wisdom can create emotional intimacy that lasts a lifetime. In addition to storytelling, offering emotional support plays a vital role. Grandparents can be a safe space for grandchildren, a place free from judgment and full of unconditional love. This support helps children feel secure and valued. Listening without immediately correcting or offering solutions encourages open communication and trust. It quote, as essential to let them express themselves freely. Grandparents can also build bonds by celebrating the small victories in their grandchildren's lives, from a good grade in school to learning how to ride a bicycle. Recognizing achievements, however small, shows encouragement and fosters self-confidence. Attending school events, recitals, sports matches, or simply sending congratulatory notes shows support and involvement. Grandchildren who know their grandparents are proud of them feel more motivated and connected. Bridging the generational gap requires patience and empathy. The world grandchildren are growing up in may be vastly different from what their grandparents knew. Adapting to their reality by learning about their interests, social challenges, and cultural trends helps in relating better. Using humor, sharing memes, or discussing current trends in a respectful manner can bridge the divide and lead to mutual respect. Traditions and rituals provide a strong foundation for relationships. Weekly dinners, holiday baking, or Sunday walks are small yet powerful ways of creating meaningful traditions that grandchildren look forward to. These moments become embedded in their memories and help create a sense of family identity. Grandparents can even start new traditions with each grandchild individually based on shared interests, perhaps gardening with one and painting with another. The key is consistency and personal attention. Respecting boundaries is another important aspect of bonding. As children grow into teens and young adults, the way they wish to connect may change. Grandparents must understand and honor these shifts without taking them personally. Being adaptable while maintaining a consistent presence helps keep the bond alive even during the turbulent teenage years. Supporting their independence while staying emotionally available balances freedom with care. Quality time doesn't always need to be about planned activities. Even sitting in silence, watching a movie together, or accompanying each other on errands can lead to connection. It quote about shared presence, not performance. Grandparents can show love in small gestures, remembering their favorite snack, listening to their favorite song, or learning a few phrases of their favorite online game. The effort to meet them where they are speaks volumes. Building bonds also involves giving space for grandchildren to share their views, values, and beliefs, even if they differ from those of the grandparents. Avoiding judgment and fostering open conversations around sensitive topics such as religion, gender identity, social justice, or politics, can help create a safe space for grandchildren to explore and express themselves. Not in this way. Grandparents play a key role in emotional growth. Grandparents can also act as educators beyond academics, teaching life skills such as cooking, sewing, woodworking, gardening, or managing money, gives grandchildren practical tools and shared experiences. These hands-on learning moments can become memorable bonding opportunities and instill lifelong values like responsibility, patience, and creativity. Creating intergenerational projects like family scrapbooks or oral history recordings can bring purpose to time spent together. Grandchildren enjoy learning about where they come from, and grandparents often take pride in sharing family history. Projects like tracing the family tree, visiting ancestral towns, or restoring old family photos can create powerful emotional connections. Encouraging grandchildren to ask questions about their roots also builds curiosity and a sense of belonging. While some grandparents may live far from their grandchildren, there are still ways to build strong bonds. Letter writing, care packages, postcards from travel, and recorded bedtime stories can keep the emotional connection alive. Children love receiving mail, especially when it contains thoughtful messages or small gifts. It creates anticipation and joy while showing effort from the grandparents' side. Building stronger bonds is not only about doing, but also about being a source of calm in the storm, being the cheerleader during setbacks, being the storyteller, being the one who never gives up on them, even when they mess up. These acts of being have more impact than any single activity. A grandparent's presence offers security, acceptance, and consistency in an ever-changing world. Grandparents can also involve grandchildren in giving back to the community together. Whether it's volunteering at a local shelter, planting trees, or creating care packages for the needy, these shared altruistic efforts help instill empathy and create bonding moments rooted in compassion and teamwork. Engaging in such activities helps children see the bigger picture of life and the importance of kindness and service. It, quote, as important to communicate love frequently. Words matter. Saying, I love you, I'm proud of you, and I believe in you regularly nurtures emotional security. While actions speak louder than words, sometimes words are the action a child needs to hear most, especially during challenging moments. A heartfelt note in their lunchbox or a spontaneous voice message can lift their spirits significantly. Grandparents who involve their grandchildren in decision-making foster responsibility and trust. Inviting them to choose weekend activities, help plan meals, or decide on movie nights helps children feel seen and heard. These small steps teach them that their opinions matter and also encourage active participation in family life. As grandchildren grow and their personalities evolve, grandparents must also evolve in the way they connect. Building bonds is not a one-time act, but a continuous journey that adapts with age, circumstances, and life events. When grandchildren enter school, face peer pressure, deal with self-esteem issues, or navigate teenage emotions, grandparents who stay engaged become pillars of strength and support. This requires attentiveness to signs of struggle, being emotionally available, and offering gentle guidance without intrusion. Trust is deepened when a grandchild knows that their grandparent will not dismiss their feelings, but instead validate them and offer comfort even in silence. In adolescence, grandchildren often seek identity and independence, which may cause emotional distance or even conflict. Grandparents must avoid overreacting to these shifts and instead provide consistent presence in the background, a simple text, checking in, remembering their exam schedule, or respecting their time when they need space. These small actions signal enduring love without pressure. This balanced approach can preserve the relationship through the highs and lows of teenage years while creating a safe space they may return to when they need comfort or perspective. Shared hobbies and learning new skills together can be an incredible way to connect. Grandparents learning how to play video games or understanding social media platforms shows a willingness to enter the grandchild's world. Equally common, teaching grandchildren card games, knitting, cooking favorite dishes, or introducing them to classic movies or music broadens their perspective and becomes a mutual exchange of culture and fun. Creativity opens doors between generations. Encouraging grandchildren to create something with their grandparents, whether it be music or art, stories or crafts, builds more than just a project. It builds memories and self-expression that tie hearts together Strengthening bonds also involves humor and playfulness. Laughter breaks barriers and reminds both generations of the joy and spontaneity. Telling jokes, watching comedies together, sharing funny family stories, or even dancing to silly music can lighten moods and form positive emotional anchors that children carry for life. Grandparents can also promote emotional literacy by helping their grandchildren name and understand their emotions. Children often struggle to articulate how they feel, especially when overwhelmed. Grandparents who model calm responses, encourage emotional conversations, and validate feelings create emotionally intelligent and resilient children. They become not just playmates or caregivers, but wise mentors in the emotional landscape of growing up. Food is another deep connector between generations. Cooking family recipes, sharing meals, or baking together becomes an act of love, heritage, and bonding. Through food, grandparents can share their culture, traditions, and stories tied to specific dishes. A grandchild who remembers the taste of their grandparents' special dish often ties it to feelings of love, safety, and belonging. Having meals together also provides natural moments for open conversation and emotional check-ins. Nature offers a peaceful backdrop for bonding. Going on walks, planting flowers, feeding birds, or hiking together fosters connection without distraction. It slows down the pace of modern life and allows quiet moments of reflection and sharing. Children often open up more during such relaxed activities where the focus isn't directly on talking but on being present together. Consistency is the secret ingredient to strong bonds. Even if time is limited, being consistent in communication and presence builds reliability and trust. Weekly calls, a monthly outing, a predictable visit, or even scheduled bedtime story calls create rhythm and reassurance in a child's world. A grandparent who remains present consistently becomes a rock in the ever-shifting tide of childhood. Building stronger bonds also means accepting grandchildren exactly as they are, not who the grandparent wishes them to be. Acceptance of different interests, lifestyles, beliefs, or even mistakes nurtures emotional security. Grandchildren must know they are loved for who they are, not for achievements or good behavior only. This unconditional love creates a foundation for lifelong closeness. In moments of discipline or disagreement, grandparents should strive to be calm and constructive rather than reactive. Correcting behavior through gentle explanation instead of punishment keeps the relationship safe and open. For example, asking a child why they made a choice instead of scolding them for it encourages reflection over fear. Grandparents who apologize when they overstep or misunderstand also model humility and respect. Community involvement can also be a source of bonding. Grandparents and grandchildren volunteering together, joining local clubs, attending church services, or going to community events help reinforce shared values and give the child a sense of belonging beyond their home. It also teaches social skills, empathy, and teamwork. Creating memory books, scrapbooks, or video diaries together captures family moments and gives grandchildren something tangible to cherish long after the grandparent is gone. These creative projects become time capsules of love, wisdom, and shared experience. Handwritten letters stored in a box or a collection of video messages can become treasured keepsakes. A crucial yet often overlooked aspect of bonding is listening with patience. Grandchildren, like all people, want to be heard, not just responded to. Grandparents who listen fully without interrupting, correcting, or judging foster emotional trust. A child who feels heard develops self-worth and comfort in sharing their world. Travel is another bonding avenue. Exploring new places together, even local day trips, creates shared adventure and memories. Visiting zoos, historic sites, beaches, or road trips allow grandparents and grandchildren to see new sides of each other and learn together. Grandparents can teach travel skills like budgeting, packing, or navigating while sharing stories of their own journeys. Taking interest in grandchildren's education also strengthens the bond. Helping with homework, discussing school topics, attending parent-teacher meetings when parents cannot, or even gifting books shows involvement and encouragement. Reading books together and discussing them not only builds intellectual connection, but also emotional depth. Grandparents can create a book club tradition where they read the same book and then talk about its lessons. Grandparents should also be aware of not competing with parents for love or influence, supporting parenting decisions and reinforcing positive behavior, aligns the family in a united front, which creates harmony and reinforces respect. Conflicts with the parents should be kept away from the grandchildren to maintain emotional safety and trust within the grandchild-grandparent relationship. When grandchildren face personal hardships like bullying, grief, parental divorce, or illness, grandparents play a pivotal role in offering stability and hope. Their life experience equips them to offer wisdom and comfort when words fail. That simply being present, silent, and available can sometimes be the most healing thing. Grandparents who pray or meditate can invite grandchildren to join, sharing the spiritual or mindful practices that bring peace and grounding. While not every grandchild will follow the same path, exposure to such practices can sow seeds of calm and perspective in their lives. It's important to celebrate diversity within the family. Grandparents who embrace multicultural identities, mixed families, neurodiversity, or LGBTQ plus grandchildren foster self-acceptance and pride in every child. They become protectors of individuality, ensuring each grandchild feels seen, valued, and loved for exactly who they are. As grandchildren mature into young adults, the bond may evolve into friendship rather than mentorship. Sharing coffee, discussing current events, career advice, or even cooking together as equals adds new richness to the relationship. Grandparents can offer support during college years, career choices, or first heartbreaks, being a wise friend and cheerleader in the journey of adulthood. When grandparents age or face health challenges, they can still model resilience, acceptance, and dignity. Grandchildren who help their grandparents during these times learn empathy, compassion, and the reality of life cycles. Such moments of caregiving and shared vulnerability can create incredibly deep and respectful bonds that endure long after physical separation occurs. Finally, the love between grandparents and grandchildren is not defined by the quantity of time, but the quality of presence. A 5-minute phone call with full attention can outweigh an hour of distracted company. Choosing presence over perfection, effort over ease, and love over expectation creates bonds that no distance, age, or challenge can ever break.